Welcome to Kids Express.
Join us as we see kids express their love for Jesus
while developing their character.
on Kids Express!
Welcome to 3ABN Kids Express, where we meet kids from around the world and learn what they are doing to spread the love of Jesus. It is through their experiences we can learn fun and new ways to take our hobbies and talents and use them for the glory of God. Today, we're going to have a dialogue about the importance of God developing our character while we are doing chores in the home. Sometimes that's difficult to do. I'm Aunt Francine.
And I'm Khalil. So, I heard we have two special guests today.
We do.
Do you know where they're from?
I happen to do, but can you guess the state?
I know. Can you guess where in the world today's guest comes from? And can you also identify what state it is? If you guessed Oklahoma, you're right. Let's welcome Leah and Nathan. Hey, guys.
Hi. Welcome. Ooh, you brought something
that looks
special to share after the program? Is this pecan pie?
Yes, it is pecan pie.
Is it famous in Oklahoma?
It's the state's favorite dessert, actually.
Wow. I did not know that.
I didn't know that. I hear it takes a long time to bake.
It does.
It does, yeah. And it's a special. And pecans are not cheap nuts, are they?
True.
So, go ahead.
So, let's how I say this. What do you like to do in Oklahoma? Like, what is your favorite thing to do in Oklahoma?
Well, Oklahoma has a lot of skate parks, so I like to go with my brothers and take our scooters or skateboard or bicycle and ride around on the skate park sometimes after school.
Wow. Do you put the whole pads on and the helmet? And
Yeah.
You try to be safe? Well,
Not all the time.
being honest.
Not all the time. Sometimes when we have roller skates, we put on the knee pads and the elbow pads
Okay.
because you could scrape your knee sometimes.
Ouch,
Right.
that's the hurt.
Right. So tell us anything else special about Oklahoma?
Well, the name Oklahoma came from two Choctaw Indian words meaning red man.
Red man, very interesting.
That's cool. I heard Oklahoma, it's also known as a Sooner state because people were trying to take land from there sooner before it was legal.
Right. That is true. I think that is kind of cool, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's actually pretty cool.
Anything else that you have, Nathan?
Well, the bird of Oklahoma is called the Scissor-Tailed Flycatcher, and its tail is kind of like a scissors.
Okay, so it's kinda long.
It cuts its insects with its tail?
No, it's shaped like a V.
Oh, that's cool. So
Yeah.
it helps it like fly around fast in the air to catch insects.
Yep.
That's cool.
But yeah, that's kind of fun to be in Oklahoma. How long have you lived there? All your life or
No. We've been there for about a year now.
about a
Wow,
year? So
that's
that's
cool.
kind of new. So anything special that you really like about it besides these parks?
We went to a bison ranch once where we could drive through and there were just wild bison all over.
Oh,
And
wow.
we took pictures and they would just walk past the car like nothing.
And they're huge
huge,
creatures,
yeah.
aren't they? Anything else, Nathan?
We were taking pictures they were down the road from where we were taking pictures in the sunset.
Were you walking?
No, we
No.
were driving.
Oh, okay.
We weren't allowed to come out
The
the
protection
car.
of the car, right? But you know, another thing about Oklahoma is I think there's a lot of tornadoes.
Yeah.
Have you experienced a tornado yet
Well, not in Oklahoma, but in another state.
in another state? Well,
I have
fortunately.
as well.
Yeah.
I have as well. It was pretty scary.
Yeah, that is pretty scary. But I hear also Oklahoma had the first sirens
It did have the first time.
created there. And so now we can be very thankful that we have sirens to alert us when there's a tornado coming.
True.
That's kind of important, isn't it?
I also heard that, do you know the Dust Bowl? Dust Bowl, I think it hit Oklahoma as well. It hit Oklahoma and around those areas.
You're right, it did. It seems that both of you told me a little bit about, you shared something with me and that you both enjoy music. Is that true?
Yes.
So, Leah, tell me a little bit about what you like to do.
I like to do word search puzzles, solve math problems, but I also love playing the violin and piano.
Okay.
And singing hymns and also learning new ones.
Wow. What's 2 + 2?
4.
How about you, Nathan?
Well, I like to play soccer in my downtime, but I also play the violin for worship, and I also play a little bit of piano.
Piano? Wow.
That's fun.
That's cool.
So you've got to tell me a little bit, in Oklahoma, you haven't been there very long, how do you share Jesus? Is there something that you do that's kind of special that you'd like to share with us?
Well, in Oklahoma, well, everyone around the world has a different talent. And in Oklahoma, my school has a church, and I help out on Saturdays by playing piano for main worship service or even being a part of the praise team.
The praise team.
Praise team.
I think we have a little video about that. It's going to be short because it's not very clear, but let's see if we can see that video.
Yeah, I want to see it as well. Well, I think it's great that you like to sing. So, what do you do to share Jesus?
I play the violin and piano for worship, and I did a sermonette on the lost sheep for the church.
Wow, sermonette? That's amazing. I wish I was there to see it.
I actually think we have a clip on it.
You
Would
do?
you like to see it?
Yes,
Can we
I
show
would
it?
love to.
And the other sheep which have not of this fold, them also I must bring, and they will hear my voice, and there will be one flock and one shepherd. Our Heavenly Father wants to save us. You don't have to remain the lost sheep. The Savior is waiting to enter your heart. Thank you.
So, it's wonderful that you were willing to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, and did you have to prepare for it and decide what you were going to write?
Yes,
So why did you choose to talk about the lost sheep?
because it feels like a very powerful story to talk about, from being lost to being found.
I like that Jesus is always seeking us out, isn't he?
True.
That is a powerful one. And coming from a young person like you, even for the adults, that would make a big impression.
I think it also helps develop character as well.
I think so, which brings us to our next segment. There are times that God is helping us develop our character. Well, we are doing some of the most mundane things. Do you do mundane things at home, like chores?
Yes.
Yeah. I appreciate help when I get help at doing chores at home, but sometimes, we feel like, oh, we're doing the same old thing. And it gets kind of boring, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But in fact, God can be working on us with those characters. What are some chores that you have to do?
I sweep and mop the kitchen floors. I keep my room clean.
That's important. That's very important.
I wash the dishes, and I help out in the laundry. And in the summertime, I also add mowing the lawn with my dad and washing the car outside. And once we're done, then we can play outside.
The only fun chore I've ever done was washing the car.
Yeah.
Because you get to put on your swimming trunks, you get the soap, the sponges, you have your hose, you get to spray each other with the hose. It's so fun.
Yeah, I used to do that.
Especially when it's hot outside.
Especially when it's hot outside.
Right.
Especially playing in the pool.
Exactly. That's when it's the best.
It is fun. And just keeping your room clean, does your parents have to remind you to keep your room clean?
Always.
That's another challenge sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And we have to be very practical. Well, how about you, Nathan? What do you have to do sometimes?
Well, I have to vacuum, and I also have to keep my room clean. I have to dust, and I have to wash the car, like Leah said, and help Mom do some of the laundry on Thursdays.
Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah.
laundry. Now, did any of you say anything about dishes?
Yes.
Did you say dishes? You have to do the dishes? Is that every day?
Dishes.
Not every day, but majority of the time.
Yeah.
How about you? Do you help with the dishes?
No, but I do help make lunch sometimes.
Ooh, so you like to cook?
Yeah.
For
How about
me,
you, Khalil?
I have dishes, like, I'm just going to say, our chore schedules, like we rotate chores. Main chores are living room, dining room, bathroom. So we rotate each week. So for example, I would have dining room, my sister would have living room, my brother would have restroom. Next week we rotate. So we rotate each things. But just for the week, for the dining room, you have to sweep the floor, wipe off the counters in the kitchen, sweep the kitchen floor, sweep the dining room floor, wipe off the table. We have to, since we don't have a dishwasher, we have to do our dishes by hand.
Whoa.
Yeah, we have to do our dishes
That's
by
a big
hand.
deal. That's a big deal.
It is.
And so we have drying rags and
Drawing ranks.
yeah.
Okay.
And we dry off our dishes, and we have to put them away, because if we set them out and we let them air dry, our countertop the water will get on our countertop and will sink and it'll start to mold our countertop.
Oh, yeah, that's not
Yeah,
cool.
so it's not good.
So you
we
have a
to dry.
responsibility to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So let me ask you this question. This is something that I have to ask, because how many times do your parents have to remind you to do the same chore? Like, do you always stay on task? Or do we kind of get a little sidetracked every once in a while?
Sidetracked sometimes.
So what gets you sidetracked? What are some things that you do?
Sometimes when I want to dust or help Dad wash the car, I want to play with toys and ride my scooter.
And so your mom catches you and is like, hey, Nathan, get to work. How about you, Leah?
I like to play music while I sweep or mop or wash the dishes, mostly to get my mind off of it. And sometimes I either change the song like 10 different times, or I stop what I'm doing and I start singing.
My sister does the same exact thing.
My daughter,
I kind of get tired of it.
My daughter Amanda, whenever I ask her to help, sometimes when I clean up in the kitchen and I'm asking her to help, sometimes I see her over at the piano, like she kind of migrates over there and she thinks she doesn't have to do the dishes. And yeah, being responsible. So why do you think our parents are asking us to do these chores?
I think they're trying to teach us a lesson.
But what kind of lesson?
Like responsibility. Like
You're right.
responsibility lesson. Like when we grow up, we're gonna have to do the exact same thing. And if we get married and have kids, and we have to teach them the exact same thing as well.
You're right. It's definitely responsibility. Do you have any ideas of why your parents might be doing that?
They might be letting us do it because it helps us learn to use our time wisely. So, like Khalil said, when we get older, our house doesn't look like a huge mess.
True.
You're right. It teaches us a lot of things like respect for things and people, correct? And how about it supports teamwork when you have to work together? Sometimes do you have to do the dishes together? Or you do? What do you do?
Sometimes my brothers will help me empty out the dishwasher, and then I wash them and put them in the dishwasher to dry.
You're right. And how about good work ethics? Like if you're sloppy at home, and what happens if you went into the workforce and was that sloppy and got sidetracked like
You
that?
wouldn't get the job.
Yeah,
You're right.
You'd lose your job.
Right. So you would have to manage your time wisely, correct? So all of those things are very important things. But you know what? God is trying to teach us to serve Him in a special way. And that home area is the place that He's kind of teaching us to do these good work ethics. So I think it's time for our questions. Do we have a question today?
I think we do.
All right. What's
So,
the question?
This question goes to you two.
Ooh.
So this is extra special. And this is from Justin, who lives in Idaho. He asks, what is the most difficult thing that you guys did? And why was it difficult?
The most difficult thing that I've done?
Difficult thing that you guys have done.
Well, I got a new bicycle once, and it has gears on it, so I had to ride it down the sidewalk, and because I'm not used to the gears, it was really hard.
That reminds me in Luke 2, verse 51, how Jesus was subject to His parents. And you know, we need to be obedient to our parents, don't we?
Yes.
God is depending on you to have a good attitude about doing chores daily in the home, and through those chores, we can develop our character. Let's live for Him. Thank you for joining us on Kids Express.